Well, hey there, friends. Today I have an episode for you all about some more SEO basics that if you're not doing correctly or not maintaining correctly, they're going to shoot all of your SEO efforts straight in the foot. So today we're going to talk specifically about your website sitemap and how to build and maintain a strong web for crawlers, okay? Now, you might be somebody that's like, Faith, I know I have a sitemap submitted. I know that I have this already done. Great. But I still want you to listen to the second part of this episode because I'm going to go through how to maintain a strong web for crawlers so that things don't get lost out there in the interwebs that you actually really want to get found for. All right, so listen in. I'm going to give you some very practical tips today. Hey there, fellow entrepreneur. Welcome to Simple SEO and Marketing. Do you want to grow your business with sustainable traffic sources? Have you heard about the power of search engine optimization and you want to take advantage of it to get more traffic, more eyeballs on your business? But when it comes down to it, does SEO feel complicated and hard to implement? Are you tired of wondering what in the heck to do with your website to get more traffic and more leads knocking on your door? What if I could tell you that there was a simple, proven system for using SEO, blogging, and copywriting to get leads from your website, and not just any leads, high converting leads. Hey, I'm Faith Hannon, wife, mama, copywriter, SEO strategist, and barrel racer. And for the last 8 years, I've been figuring out what works and what doesn't work in the world of online marketing to get organic traffic. And now I'm here to share all the things I'm learning in the trenches of SEO, copywriting, and content marketing. How does 300%, 500%, or even 12,000% more traffic in a year sound? What could your business do with that kind of traffic increase? How many more people could you help? So listen in and prepare to take notes. I'm about to drop simple, actionable SEO marketing and copywriting tips, all with a heavy dose of Jesus-loving encouragement. Let's get you more traffic and more leads so you can help more people with your God-given gifts. Okay, so in this little SEO 101 SEO Basics mini series, I've decided to tackle some seemingly little things that, though little, if you do them wrong or leave them completely undone, they can entirely ruin your chances of ranking on the SERPS, the search engine results pages. Now, some of the things, like I prefaced, some of the things I'm going to talk about today are hopefully already done for you by your website host, by the person that set up your website, by you, right? They're like one and done type of a deal. But even if you have some of these foundational things done, you still need to maintain a strong web for crawlers. So first things first, let's talk definitions. So when I say, what is your sitemap? Because we're talking about sitemaps and maintaining a strong web for crawlers. A sitemap is simply a file where you provide information to a search engine, usually just Google for a lot of people. A sitemap is a file that you provide information about your pages on your site and the relationship between them. So think flowchart, think diagrams of how things are connected. That is the function that a sitemap should serve. So a sitemap tells search engines like which pages and files you think are important in your site, and then it also provides valuable information about these files, okay? So, for example, when a page was last updated, okay? Now, this is pretty much straight from Google. That's their definition of a sitemap. What does it mean in normal human language? It's the flowchart. It's how things are connected. It's the spaghetti, so to speak, of all of the pieces of your website and how they should make sense. Now, why does it matter? Okay, here's why this matters. It matters because Google needs to know how to understand the layout of your site. It needs Google's little crawler bots they need to be able to get from one page to another. Everything needs to be connected. Now, most website hosts are going to do this, are going to generate a sitemap for you and either submit it for you or give you the sitemap to submit yourself. But your sitemap matters immensely, because the easier you make it for Google and other search engines to understand what your site is about, what is on your site, and how it is connected, the better off you'll be. Because think about Google's whole mission, right? Is to index and make sense of all the information out there on the internet. So a sitemap simply gives search engines an outline, a flow chart, right, of how all of your pages are connected. Now, if you don't have a sitemap, or you don't know if you have a sitemap, I would love to give you a simple 2-step, how to make this happen. But the fact is finding your sitemap can be a little different depending on your website host. So if you are not sure if you have a sitemap submitted, you need to go just do a simple quick search on how to find my sitemap with whatever your website host is. For Showit, they create one for you. Okay, it's an easy thing to submit. It's not hard, so don't hit the freak out button. Okay, but I can't give you like a one-size-fits-all step-by-step approach of how to do this, because it varies from website host to different blog plugins and stuff like that. So you have to actually do this and figure this out for your website. One of the many things I love about Showit is it takes care of a lot of this kind of stuff for you. Whoop, whoop. But not every website host is the same. Okay, so you got to have your sitemap submitted. Okay, once you have your sitemap submitted, when you make any major changes or redo your whole website like I just did, I like to resubmit it, because what that does is that tells Google, hey, go crawl this again, to make sure that if any links have changed, which hopefully they haven't changed, but if any links have changed, then you know that Google is going to crawl those again and index things and make sure that you're still getting found. Because I've had people in my life and clients in my life that don't have a sitemap submitted, have never signed up for Google Analytics, have never signed up for Search Console. And so they're creating all this content, they're hoping that they're going to get found, and really they're not, because they just haven't done some of these very basic things. So step number 1 today, right, is to verify that you have a sitemap submitted to Google. And if you don't, fix it. It's literally a 5-minute process. So promise me that you won't freak out, okay? Okay, so you've got your sitemap submitted. You know it's submitted. You just did it. Whatever. You have your sitemap submitted. Great. But we're not going to stop there. Okay, last week in episode 188, I talked about how important it is to outline the flow of your website and why this is important. Here is where the rubber meets the road for SEO purposes. Ideally, in my perfect world, if I could make everybody's website the best that it could be, I would love for all of your main pages to be linked on the homepage and then link back to the homepage or to a more specific page. For example, like if you have your service or product summary page that is then linking to a page about a specific service or specific product, I would want that specific page to link back to the general page, if that makes sense. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a web, okay? If you think of these little Google bots as spiders that need to crawl around the web of your site, we want to give them links that make sense, little roads essentially that make sense between pages, so that it's easy for them to crawl and index your site, right? It all circles back to the purpose of Google and making it easy for Google to understand your website, okay? So while ideally I would love for all your main pages to be linked to your homepage and then link back and vice versa, it's sometimes people forget to do that, but it's really an easy fix, okay? I literally took 6 minutes and went through my own website and was like, oh yes, this is good. And sometimes it's as simple as read more about XYZ here, okay? And then click link to that specific page and then link back to the homepage, right? It doesn't have to be super complicated. And once you're familiar with your specific website platform, honest to goodness, I spent 10 minutes on this today, making sure that this was done right on my own site, okay? Now, maintenance, right? Once we've established our sitemap is submitted and we have that stuff done, and then we've established that the main pages on our website are linked together well, maintenance can be something that is often overlooked, okay? Now, one of the main pieces of this maintenance part is linking back and forth between individual blogs. Now, one of the easiest and also easiest to forget is to update old blog posts with links to new content. Because I don't know about y'all, but I actually really like creating content. I like creating new content. And I already know in my head what I have created in the past. And so it's really easy for me to create a new blog and then think of old blogs to link back to in this new blog. But one of the things that I kind of stink at and need to get better at and am implementing in my workflow like this week is to go back through old blogs and link to new content. Because again, this strengthens that web for web crawlers and it boosts your SEO, okay? Because it shows Google that everything's connected. It creates stronger links between pages, and ultimately it should help people stay on your page, your website longer and go from page to page, because it's like you're creating just authentic, natural flow of, oh, this thing helped you, now this thing should interest you too, right? And in my opinion, this interlinking to old blog posts and then updating old blog posts with links to new content, this being able to do this and make it very natural and organic to your workflow, this is one of the biggest benefits, I think, of having a content writing and management team rather than just having one-off contractors who are writing for you. And your team, whether internal or external, that truly gets to know you and your business and your content, they should be on the lookout for ways to connect your content and build a stronger web for crawlers. Now, a very simple way to do this is to maintain a database or a spreadsheet of your content and then search by topic every time you post a new blog, so that then you can go back and link the new content authentically in the older content, or find older content to link in the newer content. And if you're like, Faith, I cannot maintain one more spreadsheet in my life, then what you can also do is in your blog post, if you have a WordPress blog, show it in WordPress or Married. So I have show it for the website, WordPress for the blog with the show it theme essentially. What you can do is you can search within your post, like your search for a keyword or a topic inside of the title, and that should pop up and help you to find things and interlink things easier. So I hope that this episode was not just encouraging to you, but actually really practical and tactical, because little things like making sure that your sitemap is submitted, making sure you're submitting new blogs to Search Console, making sure that things are connected and that you're linking back to old content and linking to new content. These little things can go a long way. They don't take a lot of time. They're easy to do, but they're also easy to forget. So I hope that you implement these into your workflow and you set aside some time to make sure that these things are done correctly in your business. If you have questions about SEO and growing your online presence, getting more leads to your website and more conversions from your website, then shoot an email over to info@faithhannon.com. We love to answer questions that y'all have on this podcast, as long as it's something that we can speak intelligently to and from experience. So send us emails. We love hearing from y'all. And if you're not a member of the Facebook group, make sure that you are, because again, we love helping y'all however we can, because I truly believe that it shouldn't take a Harvard degree to use SEO to get more traffic to and more leads from your website. All right, y'all, have a great rest of your day. God bless and bye. Thank you so much for listening in today. Hopefully this episode gave you some really tangible tips for better SEO and marketing to get more leads and more sales from your website. If it did, can I ask you a quick favor? Would you please share this episode with a friend and then just take 10 seconds and go leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. That is the very best way to help more Jesus-loving entrepreneurs scale their businesses so that they can help more people with their gifts and make an even bigger impact for the kingdom of God. And guess what? We now have a Facebook community where we can learn, hang out, and laugh. Go join the Facebook group now. It's linked in the show notes. And all the other things, courses, coaching, and copywriting, can be found at my website, faithhannon.com. Until next time, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.